What's up, guys? Welcome back to Burn the Ship, the podcast that inspires entrepreneurs to go all in on their business. And today we have the pleasure of having Dr. Angie King. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
Tell me a little bit about your business.
I'm a chiropractor. I have a chiropractic office in Kennesaw. It's called Kennesaw Health and Wellness.
That's awesome. So, what was your journey before you got to this point? What did you do beforehand?
Well, when I was in high school, and then I went to college. I did my undergrad, and then I really did not know what I wanted to do. I was going to do international business. I wanted to travel, and then I had the opportunity to take care of my grandmother, so I moved to Ohio to find myself. And then I went to night school, and I figured out I actually had a car accident, needed to see a chiropractor, which I've never heard of chiropractor. Never went to one growing up, but the more I went to see Dr. Weisel, I really liked it. I really learned a lot about this, what he was doing and how he helped people. So then I took science classes and then transferred to Life College in Georgia.
That's so cool. Ohio's a crazy place
Oh, yes.
to go find yourself.
It shuts down at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, exactly. So did you have any jobs previous to being a chiropractor?
Just high school jobs. I mean, I did fast food, and then I did work at Knights of America. My mom ran a motel and worked in a motel, and then I worked there, worked up from housekeeping to the front desk, and then was a nanny for about a year and a half, going to night school.
That's so cool. That's an interesting journey and a definite switch from business to being a chiropractor. So you're local in Kennesaw.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you guys ever do any? I'm assuming that you can't do like Zoom and stuff via chiropractic work. But
No, you cannot really
what's your reach
Zoom.
look like?
Do what?
What's your reach look like?
My patients are really from insurance referrals, and then patient referrals. I've been practicing almost 30 years. So a lot of people do know me. A lot of people do refer. So that's really where I receive a lot of my patients. And then networking, some with my husband. He is definitely
love your husband.
He is definitely networks more than myself, but he does refer a lot of people.
So there's a lot of different chiropractors out there. I referenced earlier
Yes.
us talking about like the joint, and
Yes.
Katie said it's like the fast food version of
Yes.
chiropractic work. And I have been there before, but it takes a lot of trust for somebody to have someone just come in and just like adjust your body and
Manipulate their body.
You have
Yes.
to really trust the person that you're with, and with that, like in the joint, there was always somebody new every day.
Mm-hmm.
Like I never had the same chiropractor twice. And I
really?
think that's a little sketchy for me, like having that trust in people, but so many thousands of people use the joint, and you are just a local owned, developed chiropractor.
Correct.
So how does that, besides that point, what differentiates you from every other chiropractor that's in the area?
I think the biggest thing is I want to spend time with the patient. I do want to hear what their problem is, and try to help them fix or correct that problem. They don't always want a quick fix. Yes, there are people that just want an adjustment. They have a kink, they just want it out. The joint is good for that. If you just want, I call it rack and crack, just kind of go in and get things aligned. But I do adjustments with manual, with my hands, or we use the drop table or the activator. So I try to see what the patient needs, and I try to let them talk and figure out what they really need, not just to come in and out. I don't want it to be a quick adjustment, but sometimes it is, sometimes it not. It depends on, people are coming during lunch. It is going to be a quicker adjustment.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like what we always talk about is, like my CEO said, every business should be like a doctor looking at you and really understanding the problem before they give you a quick fix. That's like giving a patient a bottle of pills and saying, here, take this. I think I know what you're talking about, but that's not a long-term fix.
Right.
So you look at more longevity based, like how can
Yeah.
over time you really be fixed to where essentially I would assume you don't have to come back in anymore because I solved your problem.
Correct. There are those patients, yes, they want to be, their shoulder hurts, their neck hurts, they don't want to be adjusted. And I have plans for that where I know they're probably only going to come in 4 to 6 visits, okay. Then, but I try to also help them understand why at least monthly would be beneficial or every other week, depending on, are they driving all the time? Are they in Atlanta traffic? Are they sitting at work all the time? Are they exercising? My patients who exercise, they do hold their adjustments a lot better. They don't have to come in as frequently. But if patients have pre-existing, then they would, they would benefit from chiropractic on a bi-monthly or monthly visit versus not coming at all.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. You gotta upkeep with your body to make sure that everything stays, organized. In a sense, yeah.
Yes.
So one of the things about chiropractic work that we've heard over and over again is like the myths, and I want you to clarify this for me. So like when you'd crack your fingers as a kid and your parents are like, that's going to give you arthritis.
Right.
And like when somebody pops your back, like chiropractic work is not like a thing that you have to have. What can you say in reference to that?
The thing about the popping your knuckles, that is a first quarter question. Dr. DeMons from Life College at the time, Life University now, I believe he's still there, but it's a first quarter question. Will popping your knuckles make them get big? Will it cause arthritis? No, it won't. I recommend pulling your fingers if you like to pop your knuckles. It can irritate the joints more if you push them together versus elongating them, pulling them.
Okay.
So that does make a little bit of a difference. But
so
I don't like
this.
Yes,
this
pulling
versus that.
That, yes.
Yeah.
Or squeezing them.
As I do it at the same
Yes.
time. Which you just told me not to do.
It's okay. But adjusting the spine is not bad for your ligaments or tendons. I think over adjustments, yes, can cause more ligament laxity, stretch the ligaments a little bit too more. You become more dependent on a chiropractor. My philosophy more is get the spine in line and then retrain it to stay. So I've seen, been practicing almost 30 years. So I've seen the frequency for patients and I've seen them hold. And then they don't have to come back as frequently. But the patients who stretch, exercise, do physical therapy along with the adjustment, they'll hold their adjustment better. Okay?
Yeah, that makes sense. So the air bubble thing is not a real thing.
It is a real thing, but it's not going to hurt you.
Okay.
It's just gases in the joint.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I basically have to go tell my mom that she's a liar for telling me that I can't crack my knuckles. She's like, your fingers are going to get fat. You're going to have arthritis.
No.
Okay, well, that's good to know. So where do you see this, because you were in Kennesaw,
Yes.
brick and mortar, local, where do you see your business going in the future? What's your goal?
I'm excited about my goal because my youngest isn't going to, well, he has 2 more years of school, but he's going to start driving. So he does not need me as much. So I can increase my hours. I'm excited about, I changed my software. We're using Aloha, which is like a texting and Google review. So I know I've been practicing for a while. I had maybe 14, maybe less than 30 reviews because I'm a little older and I don't ask my patients to do Google reviews, but this new company is, and they're giving me Google reviews. So it's just, I'm learning. You have to ask for things that the world is changing. It is more technologically based, and I still like, paper and pen.
I do
You
the
know,
same thing.
I don't always like the computer, but I have to use it.
Mm-hmm.
But I do see the practice growing. Because I can spend more time there.
Right.
That's
How many doctors work for you?
I'm on my own. I have my own practice. It's just me. I work with
So
another
you're the only
doctor.
chiropractor that will be there.
Well, there's another doctor, but she does a different practice.
Okay. What
So
is that?
She does more personal injury,
Okay.
and she focuses a different type of practice. Mine is more family. It's I can just from the baby to the elderly, to the 80 or 90-year-old. I'll be gentle with some and firmer if they need it. I really try to. Most people who come to me have already been adjusted. They already know what they want, what they like, or what they don't like, and I try to listen to that because I think the longer I'm in practice, they're like, okay, I don't want my neck anymore. It gets more nervous as we get older that you don't want their neck adjusted with the hands. Then we'll use the activator.
Okay, gotcha. So, do you see, like, with your practice growing, do you see hiring more chiropractors to come in to really
haven't thought of
expand the
that.
business, or are you just more focused on getting in there hands on?
I've always
yourself?
thought about just doing it myself, but it's always a possibility. I've not considered that, honestly.
Well, I think that it's better, like I said, to be hands on and trust the person that you're
Right.
going to be
Right.
coming to.
Yeah.
So, with our audience, they're upcoming entrepreneurs, people that aspire to be independent business owners. We've had anywhere from, like, I inherited a legacy business, or I'm a serial entrepreneur that has 50 businesses,
Right.
or just the local homegrown start from nothing type of person.
Right.
What advice would you give to somebody that is essentially saying they want to leave their 9-to-5 job and they think that they could do something better with their time or their passions? What would you say to them to kind of essentially burn their ship and start their own business?
One, believe in yourself. I think if you have an idea of a service or selling something, believe in yourself. It is not that it really is not that difficult. Do networking. I think that has helped tremendously to start my business. I did a lot more networking before I had kids, and so I had to step back from that. But that really helped. But the taxes, the laws, you need to get advice about that. You need to know, but it's easy. It's not that difficult to start your own business. You just have to have the right people in your path, and in your little there's a word. You have to have your
core group of
your core
that
group of
can
people.
help
You have to have your people.
My mom and her friends always say, like, you have to have your tribe.
Yes.
And
Probably that was
you have
the
to
word I
have
was thinking of,
strong
tribe,
people.
yes.
You have to have strong people behind you in order for you to really succeed,
Right.
or you'll just crush yourself.
Right.
Yeah, that is really good advice. But believing in yourself is definitely more difficult than people make it out to
Yes.
be. It's
Yes.
overthinking.
Yes, we overthink.
Yeah.
But I think if you have your tribe, or if people go out and network and meet other business owners, you'll be surprised. I'm amazed just because my husband but he is very good at networking. He does have a dry sense of humor, but he picks up on how to say things based on what other people say also. And I've seen different women stand up and speak and I don't have that confidence. I hate to say, I feel that way. I may have the confidence, I come across that way, but I don't feel it inside. But when you watch other women do it, you're like, okay, if they can do it, I can do it.
Mm. Yeah, that is a difficult thing because I can sit down and have a one-to-one conversation with anybody. I could talk to a brick wall if I had to, but that is completely flipped when it comes to, like, public speaking and stuff, and that is really confidence. Like, yeah, we can have it, but do we though?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is definitely difficult for me to get around, but that's something that you've learned over time, is just to make good connections and
Yes, and the one thing that
flourish in that manner.
I think the one thing when you're having a bad day, I've always told myself, and I've told my kids, Nobody's going to come to see a depressed doctor. I mean, if I go to work sad, oh, woe is me, I have no money. I mean, maybe nobody will walk through my door. You know, if I have negative thoughts, nobody's going to walk through my door.
Right.
But I don't care what's happening on my outside or at home or my car broke down. I'm going to work happy. I'm going to, because people always walk through my door. Not always, but majority of the time, it's always turned out positive for me.
Yeah, it's like leave your emotions at the front door. When you walk through that building, personal life goes out the window. You need to be able to focus and be able to give the best care that you possibly can to someone else.
And you're not going to feel it. You're not. But you got to put your best face forward, and you'll succeed. Yeah, I mean, I'm just amazed on how many times I had a bad day, or one guy I was like, I don't want to do this, but I had the best day at work. Somebody said something, a scripture, encouragement, a hug. I was like, wow, I did need that. You know, I will get what I need from my job, but I love my job. I love helping people. I love seeing them be in pain one moment and then getting up and, oh, I can walk. You know, I'm like, try to walk straighter, because it's like when you sprain your ankle, you limp. And then once it's healed, you're still limping, but you have to retrain the brain. Oh, no, walk normal, to tell yourself, oh, it's not hurting. It's not sprained. You have to, and same thing with the spine. You can have it come in with a hurt back or a hurt neck, and you're limping. But if you can, once you get adjusted and you move the bone, take pressure off that nerve, and the pain can dissipate. It takes time. Sometimes I tell patients it could be 12 hours, it could be 24 hours. You could feel better when you walk out, and you can feel worse the next day. But then the next day you feel better. Like, your body has to heal from with me, or with chiropractic, not me, but it's with chiropractic. It heals from the inside out. And everybody's heals differently. It's just not a quick fix. As much as everybody would love to come in, one adjustment, I'll see you next year. They would love that. But it's not really the way our bodies work.
It's not the way that our mind works either.
No.
They go hand in hand. It's like one therapy session isn't going to fix you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, just you divulging and crying to your therapist is not going to solve all your
She
problems.
gave you the best
You're not
advice.
magically healed.
Yes.
And the same way with the body. Like, it's not a one thing fix all.
No.
So if you were not doing this, I like to ask this question. What would you do in your spare time? Like, if money and time wasn't an issue for you at all, you could do whatever you want. So we've had people respond to this with, like, I would buy a private jet and I would fly to Italy just for the bread, or I would buy a drop-top Mustang and drive up Route 66.
Yeah.
Like, what would you do with your fun time?
I would probably go to the beach. I would get a beach house and have an art studio. I would take up art. I did it when I was a kid. My mom painted. We lived overseas, so my mom didn't have to work for the first time. And so we did art classes. And I'm not great at it. I'd have to practice, but I just find it very relaxing.
Yeah, art is therapeutic as well.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And just like getting, like, kind of like we were saying, pen to paper
Yes.
is something more effective. I still do that, and I'm in my later 20s, and I still am like, I cannot work Microsoft, all that stuff. Like, I need to write it down word for word and do it.
I like to print
repetition.
it so I could read it.
Yeah.
Like, don't make me read on the computer.
Yeah, that's fair. So, if you can, tell us if our audience would like to use your services, what's the best way to contact you at?
You can call the office. It's Kennesaw Health and Wellness, and the number is 770-423-1799. Our website is www.kennesawhw.com.
Awesome. Well, y'all make sure to reach out. So if there is one line, I know that you have it pulled up on your phone.
Yes.
What is an inspirational quote just to close us out?
I do have it on my email, but I really believe in this saying, and let me find it. I actually should have had it pulled up. The doctor of the future will give no medicine, but will interest his patients in the care of the human frame, diet, and the cause and prevention of disease. Thomas Edison.
That's beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Dr. King, for coming in today. And y'all make sure to hit up Dr. Angie King for all your issues, because I know that I will. I'm going to have her lay me out on the table and crack me.
Adjust.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's maybe better phrasing. But thank you so much, and we appreciate your time and you coming in today.
Thank you so much for having me. This was a lot of fun.
Good. All right. Bye, guys.